Hi, everyone. Woo. Hello, and welcome. We're so happy to see everyone this morning, today, for the VSSA Annual Spring Luncheon. It's been 2 years since we've done one of these, so we're very happy to be here. One of Lisa and my main goals for the VSSA this year has been to provide ways for our parent community to connect with one another, so we're super happy to be here with you today as we support the core student projects, honor our award winners, and spend this time together. And with that, please join me in welcoming Mark Mckee.
Lisa and Teresa, thank you so very much. Thank you for leading the VSSA so well this year. You've really brought us all together. And thank you for making this event happen. So let's give them a hand for their leadership. I also want to thank our event chair, Carrie Brenner, and our hosts, Kat and Rob. Carrie, Kat, Rob, thank you so much. It is amazing to be here today. It's just amazing to be here in this setting. It's amazing. I could just sit here and kind of look at the sky all day long, and it's of course even more special because we all get to be here together. And I also want to acknowledge our Viewpoint team from so many departments, actually, whether our operations department, our advancement, our marketing communications team, and our academic leaders who are here today. Thank you all for making this a great gathering, our spring luncheon. Give me an excuse to get some spring colors out. I know this is a real commencement of a celebration of spring, and we're very much looking forward. And what we're here today is, in fact, what Viewpoint is all about. It's right in the name of the VSSA. I've always said Viewpoint is a school that has a great name, and then the VSSA, any school can have a parents association. This school has a Viewpoint School Service Association. And so that name honors the partnership of parents in service to the school, and it honors the fact that the school is in service to our world. Today we acknowledge really the purpose of our education, and I have one idea, just one little idea for you today about the best education for interesting times. Because it must be acknowledged as we sit here in this gorgeous sunny day and look out across this landscape of the Santa Monica Mountains, that we are once again living in interesting times, that great euphemism for complex, challenging times out there. Some 60 years ago, our school was founded in interesting times, and times of great challenge and risk. And it was founded by parents. You may know it was some schools are founded in different ways, but Viewpoint School was founded by parents. They wanted the best education for their children and the best education to help make a better world. And so today in this event, we embrace that founding vision in our World Ready promise. But what does it mean to be world ready? Well, in our mission statement, we say we create exceptional readiness for extraordinary futures. And we say it begins with cultivating a critical skill set. Students have always gone to school to learn the academic skills for success. And in fact, good schools, all good schools, understand and promote academic depth as it's there in our mission, vision, and values. While good schools promote academic depth, great schools.
And most importantly, congratulations. I don't know where the students are who are being honored. Yay. Congratulations to you all for your community's service and leadership. You're an inspiration. Thank you. And thank you all for coming.
Lisa, thank you. You're such a trifecta of current parent, past VSSA president, current board member, really embodying all this service. Today, again, you've dedicated a part of your luncheon to honor students in service. It's really about our students. And I'll tell you, I think you're going to see just how ingenious and creative they are. One of our honorees, in fact, is producing a reality TV show, and with a couple of his classmates brought plates of hot wings to my office. And our students are going to get to learn about that on Monday morning's episode of VP TV. So if you are curious about what's coming to your world, these students are leading it with ingenuity and creativity. And here to introduce our first student honoree is our Dean of Students in our upper school, Dr. Eric Steiger. Dr. Steiger. And Dr. Steiger, as you're walking up here, thank you for the work you do with our students.
When I got here today, first thing I saw was the students all standing in a line, and I knew that was where I should be. So thank you so much, Mark. Good afternoon to all of you. I can't imagine a more beautiful spot to all gather and enjoy this afternoon together. I want to start by actually thanking Pam Zoransky over there, who's given me the opportunity to stand up here today. She's really given me a very special treat because I get to introduce somebody that I admire a great deal. He's one of our students. He's a senior. And he lives and breathes the school values that we put forward every single day. Love, honor, excellence, imagination, and perhaps most important of all in this time, optimism. The VSSA Service Award is given to a student for their contribution to service and the community of Viewpoint School. And today I get to recognize a student who's compiled an incredible record of leadership and giving to our school community and the world beyond. He has shared interests and passions, his own personal interests and passions as co-president of the guitar club and co-captain of the varsity tennis team. He's led Diversity Day workshops, serves as a wellness ambassador, and is on the Dance Marathon Club board. He's a member of Model UN and is chair of the Environment Committee for the Calabasas Mayor's Youth Council. He's a member of Viewpoint's Founder Club and also has organized Viewpoint Student Volunteers with Joyful Connections, which is an organization focused on supporting elders with memory ailments through art appreciation. He's a board member of CORE and the Student Council Senior Class President, and I'm happy to say that he's been an excellent mentor to me this year, my first year as Dean of Students, as I've learned how Student Council works and learned how to work with students, so thank you for that. As a member of Cum Laude, he served as an excellent and very funny MC of our coffee house event last evening, which was one of our first returns to public events. And most importantly, and Mr. Mckee, you took a bit of the wind out of my sails on this one, as one of the co-creators of VPTV, he gave me the opportunity to be interviewed on camera eating spicy chicken, which I enjoyed very much.
You were first.
I was first. No offense. We recognize him today for the selflessness of his approach, for the breadth and depth of his impact, and for the role model he provides for all of us as one of the very best of Viewpoint. Please join me in congratulating Zach Samuel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Steiger, for that very kind introduction. I'm honored to receive this award today and to have the opportunity to speak to all of you. I'm proud to be here today with several representatives from CORE that have been mentioned a few times. CORE is the Upper School Service Learning Honor Society, and this year CORE has decided to work with one nonprofit organization for every 2 months. So at the beginning of every other month, we hold what we call passion presentations, where any member of CORE can come up and pitch an organization that they're very passionate about, and then CORE votes on which organization they would like to support. So all of the students here today have led one of those passion presentations. So Benji Meppin, Clara Campbell, and Georgia Katkov were our leaders for Wise Readers to Leaders. Marina Beyer and Kate Unger were our leaders for United in Harmony. And Claire Williams and I are currently the leaders for Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. And Faith Pond is also a member of the CORE board and led all three. I hope you all got a chance to learn about all of these organizations and what we're doing to support them. My journey with service began in 7th grade in my middle school's multi-purpose room. After learning that 43 children in the United States are diagnosed with childhood cancer every day, I felt an urgent need to do something. So I recruited all of my friends and family to participate in a ping pong tournament. A fundraiser organized a raffle with contributions from many local businesses and asked a local pizza shop to reward the winner of the ping pong tournament with free pizza for a year. The event ended up raising over $3,000 in just a few hours. After this first community service effort, I felt an immense set of gratitude for making a positive impact. I was excited that I had raised enough money to fund 3 full days of research for childhood cancer treatments and cures. But beyond the pride of doing something good, I was even happier with the fact that I had built a sense of community around this good cause. Hundreds of friends, family, and strangers had all came together to support the same unifying cause, defeating pediatric cancer. And while we were successful in our fundraising goals, we also had an incredible day of fun and connection and joy through silly games of ping pong. After this experience, I made it my goal to build community around helping others. I wanted to bring the community together over a shared commitment to do what is right and make a positive impact. So I continued fundraising for Alex's Lemonade Stand and began a yearly campaign to give holiday gifts to children in local hospitals. We fundraised for this project by selling baked goods on the Upper School Plaza, bringing joy to students' days with cookies and brownies while they supported us with their kind donations. I became involved in student council, finding digital ways to express support for our teachers and respond to students' mental health needs during the pandemic. I also organized creek cleanup and tree planting events with the city of Calabasas, where hundreds of residents of all ages came together to enhance the natural environment surrounding the Las Virgenes Creek. And the best part was that we enjoyed it. That day, cleaning the creek was filled with laughter, connection, and joy, just as every one of my community service endeavors has been. That happiness is what continues to drive my service efforts. Through these collaborative service experiences, I've found a true passion for working together to help and support others. When I joined Viewpoint in 9th grade, I found it funny how we refer to community service as service learning. I mean, I know this is the VSSA Luncheon, but that's a pretty Viewpoint phrase, isn't it? Service learning. But as I've gone through high school, the term service learning has begun to make a lot more sense in regards to Viewpoint's approach to service. From the beginning of my time here, I've been surrounded by an endless number of opportunities and people who have encouraged me to make the most of them. Viewpoint has always done just enough to support me in my community service work while leaving me enough room to figure things out and problem solve and grow and learn on my own. I once told Coach Zoransky that the greatest change I've seen since I started working with her was my ability to draft emails. I've been able to explore and gain all of the skills that I will use as a change maker for the rest of my life, and I have truly learned through service. And as such, the phrase service learning now makes a lot more sense. Viewpoint has always gone above and beyond to support my ideas for service projects. Whenever I have an idea, Viewpoint is there to help me bring it to life. Perhaps the best example of this was in April of 2020. In the middle of a pandemic, when the administration was struggling with the very question of how we were going to hold classes and fulfill the mission of the school, I came to them with an idea called the Viewpoint Buddies program to provide support for teachers and bring connection to our community. Looking back, I'm amazed how supportive and encouraging the administration was, even in the face of unprecedented challenges such as a pandemic. I'm so thankful for Viewpoint's service learning philosophy, but more importantly, for all of the incredible faculty members who bring Viewpoint's mission to life through their impassioned work with students like me. First, Coach Zoransky, I don't know where she is. There she is. Coach Zoransky is extraordinarily committed to ensuring student well-being and happiness while we work together to better the local community and greater world. Her attitude might be best embodied by a phrase she often shares with us: be the change that you want to see in the world. Coach O leads positive change in her own day-to-day actions, and it has been one of the greatest privileges of my high school experience to get to work with her. Dr. Steiger is one of the hardest working people that I have ever met, and his work is always guided by an altruistic motivation to provide the best education and quality of life for his students. His unselfish, optimistic attitude is one of the single greatest attributes that an educator could have, and he has been an incredible supporter of any and every idea that brings our community together. I share an equal degree of appreciation and admiration for all of the teachers and faculty that I have had the privilege of working with during my time at Viewpoint, and I will truly always be indebted to them for their kind, impactful work. I promise to make Viewpoint proud as I move on to the next step of my academic journey. I sincerely hope I have left my imprint on Viewpoint, and I know that Viewpoint has left an everlasting impact on me. Thank you.
What do we tell you about our students? Zach, thank you. And thank you for that incredibly generous tribute, not only to your fellow students, but also to your teachers. To acknowledge and present our second award, I'd like to introduce our upper school, Mr. Rivers has so many titles, but I will acknowledge him not only as English teacher and as grade level dean for our 11th grade, but also as our upper school diversity coordinator, Mr. Jacob. He's also a coach. He's also a yoga teacher. I mean, it goes on. But Mr. Rivers, Mr. Jacob Rivers.
Hello, everyone. I definitely do wear a lot of hats, but probably the most impact that I have on campus is that I lead a group called the Social Justice Leadership Honor Society. And that is a group of students from which one of them is getting the award today. I'll pretend like she doesn't know she's getting it, so I'll look this way. I got you. Established in 2018, this honor goes to an activist-minded junior or senior student who is committed to using ethics, leadership, and innovation for raising awareness and eliminating systemic and organization inequities in our school and the larger community. As a part of the award, this student is honored here today at this luncheon. The work of social justice is work for us all. All members of society should be engaged in it. We should all be engaged in the work of creating safe, inclusive environments of belonging that bring our communities ever closer to our individual and collective potential. The Social Justice Leadership Honor Society is a group of student leaders who have committed themselves in this effort to allyship and learning through new perspectives that inform their own. This award is being presented to one of the leaders of those leaders. Her capacity for empathy and willingness to advocate for others while challenging the boundaries of her own perspective makes her stand out amongst them. She is not perfect, nor does she claim to be, but she has committed herself to progressing and growing her understandings as she willingly joins alongside the disadvantaged people everywhere. It has been a pleasure to work with her and the social justice leaders at Viewpoint, and it is my true honor to present the 2022 VSSA Social Justice Award to Marissa Baroko.
Bring that down a little bit. Thank you so much, Mr. Rivers, and thank you all for this honor. I was asked to say a few words, and I would like to focus on what social justice is for me. I've been blessed with the privilege to attend an elite school like Viewpoint to focus on college readiness and preparedness. Along with that comes world readiness and the reality that I am in a protective bubble. This bubble is not necessarily addressed, but it is certainly there. At a PWI, a predominantly white institution, the color of my skin has come with privilege and put me in a majority the same way it does outside of the viewpoint bubble. That privilege, though, gives me a platform to amplify and fight for things I care about, including systemic sociocultural inequities in education, healthcare, public policy, and community. I am a white Jewish woman who is a member of many different communities, and as such have had to learn how to address different parts of my identity in each. My Judaism has not always been something I openly embraced. At my previous school, I faced blatant anti-Semitism on a consistent basis. Swastikas and disgusting messages drawn on my assigned desks and in the bathroom stalls, or Holocaust denial and threatening messages spread to myself or other Jewish students in person and on social media. The hatred I experienced inspired my involvement in leadership in many Jewish groups, because I don't want the next generation of Jewish students to be ashamed and shamed the way I was. Addressing and fighting anti-Semitism has been a priority of mine for years, and for the past 2, I've been able to share it with other students at Viewpoint at mine and Claire Williams' Diversity Day workshop, Being Jewish in an Anti-Semitic World. I also share it with the world as an ambassador and student docent with the David Levkovsky Project, where I continue Holocaust education through artist and Holocaust survivor David Levkovsky's art to ensure that the memories of its atrocities and those who were killed never fade away. Learning what it means to stand up for a group I identify with helped me to build the confidence to become a more supportive ally for those that I don't. My family is diverse in race, ethnicity, gender identity, and sexual orientation. It is full of strong leaders, role models, and impassioned people. Growing up, learning about different leaders in my family, such as my civil rights pioneer aunt who worked with Martin Luther King Jr., or my human and civil rights activist great-grandfather and his law practice, inspired my dedication early on to the importance of standing up for others and developing qualities of a leader. I am a teen ambassador and teen philanthropist with the Jewish World Watch, where I have developed and exercised leadership and advocacy skills that I applied as an Edward Brodsky Fellow with the Anti-Defamation League. In my fellowship, the other students and I focused on coming up with action plans to recognize and combat prejudice and bias in our respective communities, similar to the work that I do as a member of the West Coast chapter of Teen Pollyanna. My focus with these groups and action plans has been racial inequities and the promotion of an inclusive, diverse community. Without the accessibility of Viewpoint administration, these action plans would go nowhere, so I would like to say thank you for hearing me out. Lastly, before I go, I would like to thank Mr. Jacob Rivers for all his support the past few years in my social justice endeavors in and outside of school. My future plans with the school, including bringing in Holocaust survivors to present to the middle and upper schools next month, would not be possible without help and support from him, Mr. Howie, Miss Sarah Davis, and Miss Jackson. Thank you all again.
How amazing are our students? Yeah. They are amazing, and there's been a long tradition of focusing on community service at this event, but one of the things that were really important to Teresa and I was that we really put the community service that happens from a TK to 12 basis at the school on display today. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. There was a video showing the littlest littles and TK and pennies for a purpose, and then it ends up with these amazing seniors who every time, I have a senior, but every time I look at our students, I say, I want one of those. So, and I have one, but they're just amazing. So thank you all for coming to this, to hear them receive their awards. They're truly inspiring. As Teresa mentioned, our other purpose was to provide a place for our community to gather. And so now we're going to take a break. Please enjoy the food. There's shopping for a purpose. There's our raffle. We're going to close raffle sales in about 15 minutes. So if you haven't had a chance to buy raffle tickets, please do. And there's items to bid on at this table. And we will gather back here in about 15 minutes to select our raffle drawing. Thank you.